Hello students. Today we will study about the chapter letter writing, which is from your Viva publication English grammar book for class 7th. Okay, and the chapter is chapter number 33. Okay, so we will study how to write a letter. You all know that there are two types of letters. First is informal letters, which are letters written to friends and relatives, and then the other one is formal letters. First is informal letters and the second one is formal letters. Informal letters are written to friends and relatives, and formal letters are written to government officials, business houses, letters to the editor of newspaper, applications and invitations. So formal letters are letters written for official purposes, okay, or for an organization. So here is an example of an informal letter. Here is the format of an informal letter. See, the image is not clear, but you can understand what is written. So I will show you the entire letter. So on the left side, top left side, there is the writer's address. Okay, on the top left side you will write the writer's address. Whosoever is writing the informal letter, that person will write his or her address, and then below that, leaving one line, you will write the date on which the letter is written, and then after leaving one line you will write the salutation. You can write dear mother, dear friend. Okay, so you can write the salutation, how you will uh, you know uh, uh, how you will salute or how you will address the person to whom you're writing the letter. And the central part is the body of the letter. In the body of the letter you will write whatever you have to write, okay, the main theme of your letter. So you will write whatever you have to write in that letter. You can write it in the body of the letter, and then you will end with subscription, that is your loving son or your loving daughter or your loving niece or your loving sister or your loving friend. So you can write the subscription, okay, on the bottom left, and below that you will write your name or signature, okay. So this is the format of writing an informal letter. An informal letter, you all know, is written to your friends, family or relatives. Now when writing an informal letter, the address must be complete with the pin code of the place. So you have to write the complete address and you have to write the pin code also. The second point is the date can be written as February 1st, 2018 or 1st February 2018. So you can write the date in these two formats, okay? Okay. The third point is the salutation can be written as dear uncle, my dear uncle, etc., using a capital letter for the person being addressed. If you are addressing a person, you have to write that person's name. You cannot write name, but you will write the relation that you are having with that person. So you have to write it in capital letter. For example, uncle is written with capital U, and dear will also begin with capital letter. But if you are writing my dear uncle, then my will begin with capital letter and dear will begin with small letter, and uncle is going to be written in capital letters. So you have to write capital, you have to use capital letter for the person being addressed. Now the fourth point, the subscription can be written in two ways. Okay, subscription is written on the bottom left. So yours affectionately. Okay, do not use an apostrophe in yours. Your apostrophe s is wrong. So you will write yours affectionately, but you will not write an apostrophe S. If you write your apostrophe S, then it will be wrong. So you please be alert while you're writing your letter. And you can write your son. Okay, you can write the relation also with which you are having with that person, or you can simply write yours affectionately, yours affectionately, your son. Okay, these are the subscription. You can write subscription in these two formats. Now here is a sample essay. Okay, the address is written on the top left, then the date is written. You can see how the date is written. Okay, the address is written C by 15 Mall Road, Kanpur, and then the pin code is written, and the date is written as December 2nd, 2017. So you can write the date in this format, and then you will write your salutation. Dear Shafi. Okay, dear Shafi is written. You have to put a comma also after that, dear Shafi, and then comma. I have not heard from you for a long time. I hope you are well. Since you went away with your parents, I miss you as a neighbor and a friend. Okay, so this is the body of the letter. Since the winter break is approaching, I would be very happy if you could come and stay with me for the holidays. We could meet all our friends and enjoy the holiday together. Please write back immediately so that I can plan some parties and games. All your classmates send you their love. Convey my sincerest regards to Uncle Shahid and Aunt Hiba. Yours affectionately, Arvind. Okay, yours, after writing yours affectionately, you have to put a comma also, and then you write your name. So this is the first sample letter. Okay, now we will read the second sample letter. The address is written on the top left, and then the date is written 3 January 2018. This is in this the date is written in the second format. Okay, so you can write the date in this format also and in this format also. December 2nd 2017 and 3 January 2018. So your date format can be any of these two. Okay, don't write some other format, only follow these two formats. Then dear uncle, you have to put a comma also after that. I received your gift and letter yesterday on my birthday. I was delighted with the watch you have sent me. I always wanted a digital watch and this one is perfect. After perfect, he has put an exclamatory mark. I want to thank you sincerely and I shall pray that you have a lot of fun and success in your new job. Do come and stay with us when you get a leave. My parents send you their love and best regards. Full stop. Then the salutation is written as your loving niece. Then you put a comma and then write your name, Revti. Okay. So this is our second sample essay. Now we will see exercise A. That is, attempt the following letter writing tasks. You have to write a letter on any one of the topic. Okay, so the first topic is write a letter to your father asking for permission and money to go on a school trip. Okay, so you have to write a letter to your father asking permission from him and also asking money from him to go for a school trip. The second topic is write a letter to your grandmother asking about her health and informing her that you will visit her in the holidays. So, this is also an interesting topic. You can write on a letter to your grandmother. These days, people don't write much letters, but I guess if you write a letter on paper and send it to your grandmother, she will be very happy. Now, the third topic is write a letter to your friend asking her about the new school she has joined and wishing her luck for her exams. Okay, so you have to wish your friend good luck for her exams. And the fourth topic is you have just joined a new school where you live in the hostel. Write a letter to your mother telling her about the food and other facilities in the hostel and also about your roommate. So you have joined a new school and you're living in a hostel, and then you have to write a letter to your mother telling her about the facilities in the hostel and also telling her about your roommates. So this you can write. So for that, of course, you must know what it is to be like in a hostel. So you should know about what is the hostel life. Okay, and the fifth topic is write a letter to your sister who has shifted to Mumbai to take up a new job. Ask her about her job and how she finds life in Mumbai. So fifth topic, on the fifth topic, you have to write a letter to your sister, okay, who has shifted to Mumbai and has joined a new job, and you have to just write a letter asking her how is her new job and how is life in the new city. Now we will move on to the next type of letter, that is formal letters. Formal letters are official letters which you write for official purposes, and you can write for business purposes or you can write for an organization also. So today, when emails have become the usual form of communication, very few formal letters are written. Formal letters are mostly job applications, application to government, organizations or banks. When writing a formal letter, keep the following points in mind. Your letter should be short and to the point. So formal letter is not an elaborate letter like informal letter. Formal letter has to be short and to the point. Make sure what you write is relevant to the subject. So you have to write whatever you are writing in that letter, you have to write relevant to the subject. Subject can be the you have to state the subject, that is the main key point on which the formal letter is based. Okay, the main topic of that letter. Make sure there are no grammatical or spelling mistakes, because if you have spelling mistakes or grammatical error in your letter, it will not have the desired impact on the person who reads it. The tone of the letter must be polite even if you are complaining. So even if you are complaining in your informal letter, in your formal letter, sorry, even if you are complaining in your formal letter, you have to be very polite. You cannot use rude language in your letter. Present your letter well. Your letter should be well presented with all the details which you have to fill. Guidelines for writing a formal letter. Begin by writing your address on the top left hand corner. So you all know that on the top left you usually write your address. Okay. Then the second guideline is the name or the designation of the person you are writing should be written below this. The date may be written after the sender's address, or it can be written after the details of the person being addressed. So you have to write the name and the designation. Designation means the post of the person, okay, for or to which you are writing your letter. And the date may be written after the sender's address. If you have written your address, sender is the person who is writing the letter. If you have written your address, you can write the date below that, And after the date, you can write the name and designation of the person to whom you are writing the letter. The salutations may be Dear Mr. Prasad, Miss Banerjee. If the name of the receiver is not known, then Dear Sir or Madam. So, first you will write the designation of the person, and then you will write the salutation, that is Dear Mr. Prasad, or you can write respected also. Respected Sir, respected Madam, or Dear Sir, Dear Madam, Dear Mr. Prasad, Miss Banerjee, Dear Miss Banerjee. Okay, now we will move on to the next point. Put the subject line directly after the salutation. So you have to also write the subject in your informal letter. So after the salutation, you will write the subject of your letter. Suppose if you are applying for a leave and you are writing your letter to the principal sir, then you will write your subject as application for leave or leave application. Make sure that the subject line is written in bold and is underlined. So if you are typing it, if you are typing the letter, then you have to type the subject in bold letters and you have to underline it also. This allows the receiver to get a fair idea of the purpose of the letter. So if you have written the subject, the reader will understand what is the purpose of the letter. Okay, so now we will move on to the next point. Make sure to keep the content brief and to the point. Divide the content into short, clear paragraphs. So you have to, the content which you are writing, it has to be very brief. It should be to the point and it should be as short as possible. Okay, you don't have to elaborate it, you have to write it in short. It should be complete, it should be brief, and it should be to the point. Remember to get straight to the point. Do not include any unnecessary or supplementary information. Never use flowery language or long words to appear learned. So you don't have to show how learned or intelligent you are in the letter. You don't have to use flowery language, means very uh, very good language. You do not very flowery language means something which is more elaborated and very sweet. You don't have to use flowery language, you don't have to elaborate anything, you don't have to write unnecessary information. You have to be very concise. Okay, you have to be very much to the point. You don't have to show your poetic skills in the letter. The first paragraph should be short and state the purpose of the letter. To make an inquiry, complain, request something. So the first paragraph should be very short and it should explain the purpose of the letter. What basically is the purpose of the letter, you have to write in the first paragraph. Okay, so now we will move on to the next point. The paragraph or paragraphs in the middle of the letter should contain the relevant information behind the writing of the letter. So the middle paragraph should contain relevant information. Okay, if you have to write any information in the letter, so you can write it in the middle of the letter. So keep the information to the essentials and concentrate on organizing it in a clear and logical manner rather than expanding too much. You don't have to again you don't have to expand it. Okay, you have to just keep it clear and logical. So you have to write points in a logical order and they should be very crystal clear and they should be concise, to the point. So if you have to give any information, you give it in the second paragraph or in the middle of the letter. And the last paragraph of a formal letter should state what action you expect the recipient to take to refund an amount or to send you an information. So if you are writing a letter, it must be having some purpose. You must be wanting the person who is reading the letter to do something for you. So the last paragraph will be based on what you are expecting the person to do. आप क्या चाहते हो कि वो लेटर पढ़ने वाला क्या करे आपके लिए. आप अगर प्रिंसिपल लेटर को लीव एप्लीकेशन लिख रहे हो तो आप चाहोगे कि वो आपको छुट्टी दे दे. और अगर आप किसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को कंप्लेंट लिख रहे हो तो आप चाहोगे कि आपका वो काम हो जाए. Okay, so the last paragraph should state what action you expect the recipient to take. So, in letters to the editor, give details of the topic, the problem, its causes and effects, and possible solutions. Do not ask the editor to solve your problems. Suppose if you are writing a letter to the editor, editor is a person who writes newspapers or books. So if you are writing a letter to an editor, then you have to write your problem, whatever your problem you are having, and then what are the consequences of the problem and the solution that you can suggest. But you don't have to ask the editor to solve your problem. Okay, an editor can only write your problem in the newspaper. If you're having any problem regarding any social issue, the editor can write an article on that, but the editor will not solve the problem, he will only write. So you don't have to ask the editor to solve the problem for you. Now the second point, when you have finished, end the letter with yours sincerely. If you have started with the name of the person, okay, if you have written the name of the person in the beginning, then you can write yours sincerely. If your salutation is dear madam, dear sir, then end with yours faithfully. Okay, so if you have written the name of the person, then remember you will write yours sincerely. And if you have written dear sir or dear madam, then you will write yours faithfully. So when to write yours faithfully and when to write yours sincerely must be crystal clear to you. Many people confuse and they write anything. They write yours sincerely also, and they write yours faithfully also. But when to write yours sincerely and when to write yours faithfully, you must know. Sign your name below this and write your full name below your signature. So then you have to make your sign, and then you have to write your name below that. Okay, so these are the points we have discussed. Now we will see the format of a formal letter. Okay, so the formal letter, writer's address is on the top left. Then there is the date, which you all know. You know the format of the date. We have discussed it earlier in the informal letter. So same will be the format of the date here also. And then suppose the letter is written to the editor. So then you will write the editor and you will write the address of that person also. Okay, so first you will write the designation of the person to whom you are writing the formal letter, and then you will write the address of that person. And after that you will write salutation. Salutation means dear sir, dear madam, or you can write the name of the editor also. So if you write the name, then you will end in yours sincerely, and if you are writing dear sir, dear madam, then you will write yours faithfully. So this must be clear to you. And then you will write subject or the topic of that formal letter. And now the body of the letter is divided into 3 paragraphs. In the first paragraph, you will write clearly and in short the purpose of your letter. In the second paragraph, you will give the information if you have to give any information regarding your formal letter. And then in the third paragraph, you will conclude your letter and you will write what you want the recipient to do for you. Okay. Now then, to how you will end the letter? You will end the letter with yours faithfully, because you have written dear sir or madam. So your subscription will be yours faithfully. Then the next will be your signature, and then your designation can be anything. For example, if you are writing to your editor, then you will write concerned citizen. Okay. So this is a sample letter, and you can take a screenshot of this and you can go through the sample letter, and it is based on the points which we have discussed, okay, in this video. So I will conclude the first part of my chapter right now.